Hey everybody, Xeno back here for another review series, this time on the much beloved Mega Man 6. I know I've been doing these in a kind of weird way, jumping around between the middle, but it's finally time to do this and eventually Mega Man 1 to complete the NES lineup. And I'll give my thoughts on the game here before we really get too deep and dive in, pressing the up and down. Okay, never mind, it's just gonna do the demo anyways. Anyways, I like Mega Man 6. This is a good game. I wouldn't say... It was never one of my favorites, really. It was just another good entry in the series. It has its issues. The physics are definitely not better than Mega Man 5's for reasons that will probably plague this first video. I'm also not sure why that demo reel was so messed up. Like, that Mega Man was playing so terribly. But this game is great. It has decent designs around the board. I enjoy playing it, so, you know, might as well just jump right in. This cast of Robot Masters has always stuck out to me as being, like, super divided. Like, there's two very distinct groups that stick out to me on the stage select. And I'm not sure if I'm the only one that feels this, but they put these four, like, elemental masters at the top and like left area here, and then the other four are the kind of like weapons, or just not, they're not elemental, they're just themed otherwise. This game has always had a very kind of clashing aesthetic in a way. I'm not sure how to describe it, but either way, I like the cast here. Good music, good aesthetics. I mean, what to say about that? Not much really to comment on that Mega Man 5 didn't get right, but it suffices. In this game, I always start with Flame Man, so let's get started. This is a nice little screen as well, doing the whole stats and stuff. Strange quirk about them writing the Robot Master name as one word, like Flame Man, one word, which generally stopped. Actually, I think that's the case in most of these. Maybe not in Mega Man 5, but anyways. What hasn't really stayed the same since 5 in this department? The graphics look good, just like 5. Jumping feels the same, shooting feels the same, and the music is similarly good. The one thing they messed up, and they messed up badly, is the slide. Anybody that's played Mega Man 6 would be able to tell you this in a heartbeat, but one of the biggest issues with this game is that you cannot slide jump. I am pressing jump to my heart's content here. I cannot jump out of the slide. And this single mistake, once you get used to it, it doesn't cause that much havoc, but it's just so bizarre. And I'm not sure how this was overlooked. It just feels so bad. But minus that, it's not horrible. The charge shot is probably the most balanced. It's just this, like, pretty solid nub, unlike Mega Man 5's gargantuan blast, and Mega Man 4's, like, strange, kind of noodly looking one. Not sure what to say about this stage's beginning. I mean, all the Robot Masters in this game have this kind of global theme to them, as that intro cutscene might have suggested. So here we have like an Arabian kind of theme, maybe like, you know, Saudi or like Iranian kind of stuff. So, you know, I vibe with it. Good enemies, like lighting the oil on fire. It all makes sense. This fire, by the way, is instant death, so watch your step. Mega Man 6 is very much a another. It's like the most run-of-the-mill entry in this series, at least in my opinion. Like, more than almost any other ones. It's kind of here because it can be, and that's kind of exemplified by the fact that this game released a couple months, I think, after Mega Man X on the SNES. Either that or shortly before, but either way, Mega Man had already kind of moved on to the SNES, and here we're still getting an NES follow-up to Mega Man 5. Not that this game is bad, or that putting it on the SNES was necessary for it to be a good game, because this game pulls its weight. I do still, you know, like this title, as I said. There's nothing wrong with it. This stage has a kind of drab color palette, by the way. This screen is like fully gray, but, well, what else would you expect from like an oil processing facility or whatever this place is supposed to be? Then you have this cave section, which has always felt like mildly out of place to me, but it's still bits, then the game expands on this gimmick by having these guys shoot fire in an arc instead of just straight down. I'm not sure why that fire pool, this one to the left, why it's lit before I even got to the area, but there must be some sort of quirk to be observed in there. And I made this E-take grab a little harder on myself by not removing the fire boy. These things are literally called fire boys. This stage has a pretty healthy dose of challenge and also just, it's pretty fun. It's a cruise. Not particularly difficult, like most of this game. It's not a particularly hard game, to be honest. And there are no really cheap moments like how I talked about at length in Mega Man 2. Nothing of the sort. So here we're at our first boss, which gives me the chance to talk about a pretty funny thing regarding Mega Man 6's boss AI, which is that, except for Plant Man, they all have the same AI. And you might be thinking, well, Xeno, what are you talking about? Because they all do different things. But let me explain. The AI at a core level for all the Robot Masters in Mega Man 6 is the following. They all have 2 attacks that they rotate between, or I guess 2 actions if you don't want to call them attacks. Flame Man has 2 attacks, like this Flame Volley and then the Flame Pillars. What they do is they're kind of like Galaxy Man in Mega Man 9. They do their action a max of twice in a row, and then they do another random action. So as you can see, Flame Man just he jumped, he did his Flame Pillar attack no more than twice. He did the Flame Volley thing. I'm not sure if he did it twice because I was barely paying attention, trying to explain the details of this stuff. And I have to talk about the power adapter too. But the AI for all the Robot Masters in Mega Man 6 is that same pattern of they have a specific set of actions, some of them including jumps, most of them, or like some movement option, but they just rotate between doing those at random, and they never do the same thing more than twice. Except Plant Man, who is even more basic, and he does the same thing every single time. And we're going to be moving on to his stage right now, actually, as a matter of fact. Except I did want to point out that this Mega Man Life Head thing they put on the stage select for the stage clear kind of thing, it's not the same color as the Mega Man in the middle, which is weird. Like, why is it this cyan color? It's not the same color as the extra lives you find in stages. Anyways, Plant Man, who has a pretty, chromatically challenging sprite for the NES. That's a lot of colors on that guy. Pretty sure they had an extra mask just for him in the game. But, oh right, the power adapter. Can't neglect to talk about that. So, instead of rush utilities, Mega Man 6 makes the bold decision to have these kinds of rush utilities, I guess. There's the power adapter and the jet adapter, which will be given from this stage. The power adapter is pretty cool. You can do this punch, which is charged by the gauge on the left, as you can see. You can throw small punches pretty fast, or charge up for this big punch. It's a fun thing. It messes with the boss AI very severely, which I'll be sure to show off. But it's just a fun tool, a fun utility. I guess it's better than Rush Coil. It's a bit more original, but I've never been that strong-headed on the adapters in this game. They're kind of whatever. They're cool. It was a cool idea, but I don't feel like it changes that much at the end of the day, minus like the game asking you to use them at a lot of points during the ending stages, but even that, it's kind of whatever. Eddie's back. Can't do the cycle for free 1-up trick here, but you can do it in most of his other appearances. There's a mid-boss. I don't think Power Adapter is the right choice here, but did it anyways. The way this guy works is if you shoot the treads, like the lower part, not his head, he moves back, and he has the spread attack and a little punch. Kind of the same thing, just rotating between attacks. Nothing super interesting, but, you know, it's passable. Like I said, explains most of this game. Very passable, pretty decent, but nothing to write home about at the same time. I wouldn't say I find this game or stage by extension boring or anything. There's just nothing super special about it, except lagging out the game and getting my ass kicked by grasshoppers right now. It does the job. I think I'm really handicapping myself by using the power adapter. I don't know why I'm being so, I'm staying on it for so long. Let's use Flame Blast. This weapon is really, really strong. I have no idea why it's this strong, but it's probably one of the game's best weapons. Packs a mighty punch with this little, ball. So good stuff there. Despite the fact that this stage gives the jet adapter, it's funnily enough the one where I think it would benefit you the most to have it. All these pits with basically up and downs jumping out of them. This game's equivalent of them at least. And here I need to very carefully show off that you can stand on those if you get to the center. I chose the wrong one to do it. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. This is a thing I'm going to be implementing in videos from here on out, just pausing the footage and getting back to where I was. It should cut down on a lot of the, viewers clutter, I guess you could call it, from me going back through the, same stuff again. So, as you can see here, you can actually stand on these platforms while they're closed, which is very strange, except it shunts you off, so you can stand on it for a split second, but that might be all you need. It's very bizarre. I have no idea why this is like this. I feel like if you stand in the perfect place, you're actually able to stand on these, but I might not have the stamina to keep doing it. Anyways, bizarre bug aside, or I don't know. Oh, there, I did it by accident there. But anyways, minus that oddity, there's nothing too special to say about this. Really, this entire section. It's just kind of a difficult platforming bit. And like I said, the jet adapter would be like the biggest cheese for this. I mean, maybe that's why they put it in this stage, so this section couldn't be cheated. Which, I mean, I guess if that was the intent, then job well done, because the section does retain a good amount of challenge. I like that this enemy interacts with the springs, by the way. It's fun. Not sure how much extra code they had to do to get that implemented. I'm also having I'm playing terribly because I'm talking syndrome right now. I had a practice run through of this game before I started recording this series, and I didn't die a single time before I got to the last X stage, I think. And even that's because of a tight spot that I'll talk about later. Anyways, Plantman's AI. As I mentioned, Plantman is the only one to have even more simplistic AI than the has two attacks and does them randomly thing I was talking about earlier. He just makes his shield, jumps, shoots the shield, walks a bit, and repeats. Very simple life for Plant Boy here. However, one fun thing you can do in this game to almost every boss, Plantman included, is get the power adapter out and use the charge attack to completely screw up their AI. Like, see, he jumped way faster, didn't generate his shield. Do it again. Yeah, it just makes them go haywire. I have no idea, like, what causes this, but it's really funny. So, if you ever get bored, you like messing around with the Robot Masters in Mega Man 6, just do that. Plantman stage, good music, decent design, fun challenge, I like it. Like everything else, it kind of doesn't stand out much because it's just very solidly good. I didn't really feel like blown away by anything about it, but it was a nice forest aesthetic. It did its job. From here, we're just going to be going in weakness order like I do most of the time. This is my recommended order for those getting into this game. If you're getting into this game because of me, then I'm flattered, first of all, but second of all, I would recommend doing an order similar to the one I'm doing right now, or maybe if Plantman is less intimidating to you, do him first. But the order I'm doing right now will allow us to get Mega Man 6's special collectibles, plural, all in one go without any revisits, that's how I like to play things, so. Nice parallax here on Tomahawk Man stage. I always like this stage, and the music track that goes with it, very banging. Just like how all the Robot Masters represent countries, we had Plantman for Brazil, which I almost neglected to say, and then we got Tomahawk Man here representing America, if you couldn't tell by the desert aesthetic and probably nuclear waste site in the background. I like that the stage puts spikes here so that you don't try and go further. I respect that. That's some Probably not the exact solution I would do if I made this stage. I would just put a wall, but that's a good enough solution to prevent me from getting curious. This stage has a kind of strange background problem where like a lot of these backgrounds look really empty. There's just a lot of like pure black in this stage, and I'm not sure why. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's a bit jarring. And that mini boss, if you couldn't tell, you need to punch it in the little nozzle to kill it. And Power Adapter does a pretty good job of doing that, so just pull that thing out. Power Adapter also punches these drill enemies back, which is a whole lot of fun. I enjoy that. I enjoy using the Power Adapter on normal enemies, which once you get the hang of it, it's very fun. Health, okay, thanks. Not gonna bother doing the E-Tank trick. Probably never gonna need him in this game anyways. Here's my introduction to Jet Adapter, which, if you hold the button, it lets you hover, kind of like you'd expect. Recharges when you stand on the ground. Very nice. A precursor to Mega Man 7's Super Adapter in basically always. Even looks pretty similar. This screen is very pretty. I like this sun effect. Not sure a better way to put it, but it's just very aesthetically pleasing. Although the fact that the mountains scroll like this kind of makes them look like they're right in front of Mega Man, which is a bit weird. Or not right in front, like right behind. Like this, it looks a bit funny, but I mean, it does a trick. I really like this sun though. We're going to be going up here for a little secret area though. Mega Man 6 has a lot of these. A lot of alternate paths, a lot of like little bonus areas that can be accepted. Is there a platform supposed to be there? Nah, never mind. I thought a platform despawned for a second, but no. These little bonus areas, which are nice little rewards for doing things in a particular order, which is probably the main reason why I suggest doing Flame and Plant first, because they give you the adapters. So in every other stage, you'll be able to access whatever secrets there are. It's minimizes your backtracking responsibility, which I would never be able to recommend against, to be honest. This thing is the Mega Man 6 Big Eye equivalent, by the way. Pretty much is the same thing, except flies diagonally a bit and then like tries to slam you. I like it. It's a good take on the Big Eye. Here's this Met dispenser thing done with Jet. And yeah. Here's a weird thing about this game that I'm not sure why they did like this, but this stage has 2 secret items in it, when there are many stages in this game that don't. Like Flame and Plant have the adapters, as I just explained, but Blizzard Man and Wind Man stages don't have anything in them. So I'm not sure why they didn't put this item we're about to get in one of those, and then leave the other secret item here, or something. The distribution is just a bit peculiar. And your eyes don't deceive you, this is the very first appearance of the Energy Balancer, which is really great. What this thing does, and it would become a mainstay of many Mega Man titles from here on out, is that when you collect weapon energy and you aren't on the weapon you want to fill, if you're just collecting energy with the Buster, it will fill up the least filled up weapon. So super useful. Like if I use some Flame Blast right here and collect weapon energy as Jet form, it's gonna put that energy into Flame Blast. So super useful. Honestly, should maybe just be like a default feature or something. It would become very much a default feeling feature in later Mega Man games, but for the time being, not a big deal. Here's the other main secret of Mega Man 6, which is a bit of a peculiar mechanic when you really think about it, but I guess it kind of is interesting. Every stage at the bottom half of the roster, so Tomahawk, Yamato, Knight, and Centaur, they all have these alternate boss rooms where you can fight the same boss just in a different place to get a piece of Beat, the bird from Mega Man 5. So yeah, this is how you unlock Beat in this game. In these 4 stages, there are Beat parts, and you have to fight these alternate, but like they're the same boss, just in a different place, that is only accessible with like one of the utilities, like I mentioned earlier. Anyways, Tomahawk Man here. America Boy is weak to plants, which I'm not sure what that's supposed to say, but it's pretty funny. Just like, you know, every other damn boss in this game, he has two attacks. The Tomahawk and then the Feather Spread. And he'll just repeat those ad infinitum, interspersing some jumps, and never doing two of those things in a row at this... Never doing two of the same thing, more than two of the same thing in a row. Never more than two Tomahawks, never more than two Feather Spreads. Same AI, just different attacks. But he's cool. I like the attacks. You know, the Feather Spread is fun, and, well, the weapon is the Tomahawk, as the name would suggest, I guess. And we also got the beat B parts. So they very linearly go B, and then E down here, A, T. So we're going to be hitting Yamato Man stage next. Just get started. Despite Yamato Man's sprite being purple, he's blue on the stage select for palette reasons, I'm assuming. Funny thing. Not a big deal or anything, just humorous. Some of you, I don't want to say less cultured because that sounds demeaning, but for those in the audience that don't know what a Yamato or Yamato, however you want to say it, what it is, it basically translates to Japan Man. This is like the Japanese Robot Master. It's very cool. This stage, like, the music feels pretty Japanese. These, like, rocks in this courtyard area, it gets the theming right. I very much like it. And then you got this dude wearing, like, not sure what he's wearing. Looks like a robe. Maybe a kimono? Not sure. But this stage is fun. Good theming. This frog mini-boss, I guess I killed it a bit too quickly for it to matter, but the laser attack could really use a tell. It just kind of comes out and then the frog gets angry eyes. But the bomb attack is perfectly dodgeable. No complaints there. Unfortunately, by taking this path, we miss a cool enemy, which is a Dashone from Mega Man 5, except like a downgraded version of it. I think it's called like Dashone Limited or something, like Dashone LTD. And it's just like a worse version of the 5 Dashone, which is funny. There's an Easter egg with the palettes in the stages that have beat parts, which I might show off in the next part. So maybe I'll go back and show the Dashone thing actually as well while I'm there. But yeah, for as much as I really like the alternate paths in this game, some of them make you wonder like what you're missing, and sometimes there's like cool little stuff on the other side. I think this is the only example where you miss anything like unique by going on a alternate path. Maybe here as well, like going using the jet to get up here versus going the other way. I think this is the only room in this game that has these face Springer enemies. So many underused assets in these old classic games, I swear. So, good stage. Pretty short, especially when going for the alternate route. The alternate route cuts a lot of time out of the stages, to be honest. Yamato Man, well, if you've seen one boss in 6, you've seen them all, as I said. This guy jumps, shoots his triple spear, shoots this like little spearhead across the room that he then goofily runs over to pick up, and then he repeats. So, not much to comment on. Goodbye. Weak to Silver Tomahawk, as I said. Good weakness. Most of the weaknesses in this game are pretty reasonable. Tomahawk Man being weak to Plant Barrier is a notable exception, but Plant Barrier isn't really good. It wouldn't be good against any of the bosses in this game, because you don't really want to stay near most of these guys. Yamato Spear is a kind of a middling weapon. I realize that in all my rambling, I really haven't talked about the weapons all that much, but Plant Barrier is pretty bad. 7 uses for a very mediocre shield, and then Silver Tomahawk is one of the better weapons. Not terribly high energy consumption for a decently strong projectile. That's the first 4 stages down, and that's where I'll be cutting it for now. Thank you for joining me in this first part, and I'll see you guys later for more Mega Man 6. Peace.